Hi, my name is John Porter, and I'm here to speak to you today about cardiac acupotential models. So when a person or animal's heart beats, individual cells in the heart experience a sudden increase in voltage caused by ion channels, creating a flow of current that creates electric potential difference inside the cell. The level of voltage in a specific heart cell closely matches the common pattern of heartbeat that you might see on computer monitors in a hospital, where you have those initial spikes followed by a slow tapering, and we call those spikes acupotentials. Often it's useful for research to create computational models to estimate those exponentials, because if we can accurately model phenomena that occur in the heart, we can get information that helps us better understand the onset and treatment of cardiac diseases, such as ventricular fibrillation. There are many different computational models for estimating cardiac exponentials in a cell. Some examples are the Mitchell-Schaefer model, shown here in figure 2, where we numerically integrate the Mitchell-Schaefer model in order to obtain these black spikes, which are represent the voltage in a single cell. Another example is the Fenton-Karma model, which uses 3 different differential equations. So one thing that's common across most of these cardiac models is the reliance upon a set of constant parameters that impact various components of the model. For example, a specific parameter might determine how wide those spikes are or how tall they are. And having customizable parameters allows us to slightly vary a model to better fit certain cases, such as someone running versus someone sitting down, different patients, or even different species, like animals such as a zebrafish. So one common problem is if we're given experimental data, how do we best change the parameters in order to have our model reflect the experimental data? So one way we can do this is through data assimilation techniques such as the unscented Kalman filter. So in figure 1, we demonstrate an example of a parameter value whose true value is shown in blue, being estimated by UKF. And here the orange line represents the guess parameter, and you'll see over time, over the numerical time steps, our guess value gets closer and closer to the truth, which is a good example of parameter estimation. Another technique for this is the particle filter. It's different from the Kalman filter in that it's based on samples, and it tries to iteratively create a probability distribution that represents the state and parameter values of the system at any given time. And it also doesn't assume noise to be Gaussian, like the Kalman filter does, which can be really good when noise is more random and not so normal. So though much of my research thus far has focused on the Mitchell-Schaefer cardiac model and investigating different parameter estimation techniques within that, I want to transition the focus to the Fenton-Karma model. The hope is that using a more robust model with 3 entangled differential equations, you can obtain more nuanced and accurate model results. However, one risk is that because the model is more complex, our particle filtering technique may be less computationally efficient or less accurate at estimating the parameters, given that there are more. So we intend to reveal the performance of particle filtering in the Fenton-Karma model and compare it to our previous work on the Mitchell-Schaefer model to see how effective it is in each case. Thank you for listening.